If you force an underpowered processor to handle demanding tasks it wasn't built for, you will push the hardware to its absolute physical breaking point. The CPU is the foundational engine of your entire machine. Buy the wrong one, and you'll either aggressively bottleneck your expensive graphics card, or you will waste hundreds of dollars on massive computing power you'll literally never use. Picking the right engine is frustrating. This diagram shows the problem. AMD's Ryzen naming convention is a chaotic mix of base tier numbers and seemingly random letters. When those numbers and suffixes collide, they create an overwhelming chart of hardware combinations. We are going to strip away the marketing jargon and translate this alphabet soup. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which hardware to buy based strictly on the daily tasks you actually do. Because knowing how to navigate the trade-off between raw processing power and battery efficiency dictates both the financial cost and the practical lifespan of your computer. Looking at this decoder table, we'll start with the baseline. Ryzen 3 is a 4-core processor engineered specifically for simple, everyday tasks. It handles web browsing and office applications without breaking a sweat. But if you try to run modern 3D rendering or AAA video games on it, you are guaranteeing severe lag and massive load times. This maps to laptop configurations carrying the U suffix. The U designation actively caps electrical power. It trades peak speed for maximum mobility, giving a battery that lasts all day. On a desktop, that letter swaps out for a G. A G suffix includes integrated Radeon graphics directly on the chip. You save money because you don't need to purchase a separate, dedicated graphics card, provided you aren't trying to run modern, heavy gaming titles. Ryzen 3 is highly targeted. It protects your wallet and your battery life by specifically cutting features you don't need when heavy computing simply isn't required. Stepping up to the 6-core Ryzen 5 brings us to AMD's most popular mid-range processor. This tier gives you the computing headroom required for smooth, standard gaming, active photo editing, and heavier multitasking without bogging down the system. Back on our decoder table, laptops in this tier frequently introduce the H suffix. This removes the strict power limits of the U series, allowing noticeably faster gaming and video editing speeds. But that extra speed carries a physical cost. The H suffix drains your battery faster, requiring a bulkier laptop chassis to properly cool the hardware. For desktop builds, this tier relies on the X suffix. The X variant is tuned to deliver higher out-of-the-box clock speeds. It offers a performance bump, but it charges a premium price for what is often a marginal gain in everyday speed. Ryzen 5 is the ultimate balancing act. You accept slightly higher power consumption and upfront cost in exchange for a massive leap in mid-range capability. The 8 to 16-core Ryzen 7 and 9 processors are extreme performance chips, engineered for professional content creators, high-end streamers, and technical enthusiasts. They offer massive headroom. You can play a heavy AAA game, encode a live stream, and keep a dozen background applications open simultaneously without a single stutter. On laptops, the suffix is split. HS delivers high performance inside a thin, relatively power-efficient frame, but HX fully unlocks the hardware for absolute maximum desktop-class performance. That HX power forces you to purchase massive desktop replacement laptops, characterized by loud cooling fans, heavy frames, and terrible battery life. On the desktop side, these high-end processors offer a highly specialized variant called X3D. X3D chips use stacked 3D cache memory, physically built onto the processor. This drastically boosts your gaming frame rates without pulling additional electrical wattage from the wall. Pushing this raw performance generates extreme thermal energy. You must purchase specialized cooling hardware to safely dissipate the heat before it damages the chip. If you aren't rendering complex video or crunching professional workloads, these top tiers yield severe diminishing returns. Paying for 16 cores to browse the web is a massive financial trap. AMD also produces highly specialized variants that target extremely specific use cases, starting with the premium Ryzen AI badge. These chips include a neural processing unit specifically to offload background tasks like Windows Copilot or video background blurring. It saves your main CPU power, but unless you work remotely and live on video calls, it's largely a waste of your budget. The Ryzen Pro models offer deep memory encryption and remote IT management tools. These security protocols are strictly irrelevant for a personal home computer. The Ryzen Z series is a strictly optimized architecture built exclusively for handheld gaming devices, aggressively balancing decent frame rates with tight battery consumption. And finally, there is Threadripper. These processors are physically massive and feature an insane 24 to 96 cores. They exist to handle the massive computational scale of enterprise tasks, continuously crunching millions of geometric calculations instantly. Threadripper processors cost thousands of dollars and require oversized motherboards to run engineering simulations or render Pixar-level 3D environments. These are hyper-specialized tools, not consumer upgrades. Buying them for general daily use is pure marketing manipulation. Ignore the marketing terminology completely. Your final decision should be dictated strictly by the real-world bottlenecks you actually face. This flowchart maps your options based on your primary constraint: budget, mobility, or maximum performance. If you are a student or mobile office worker and your top priority is leaving the charger at home, stick to a Ryzen 3 or 5 with a U suffix. If you are a mainstream gamer or casual creator, target a Ryzen 5 with an X, H, or HS suffix. You capture 90% of a high-end experience without the massive price tag. If your time is money and you rely on fast rendering, or if you demand absolute maximum frame rates, justify the investment in a Ryzen 7 or 9, specifically targeting X3D on desktops. And if you manage a corporate network, deploy Pro. If you are a heavy remote worker relying on generative tools, get the AI batch. If you run complex engineering simulations, invest in Threadripper. Matching the exact hardware to your lifestyle perfectly balances your processing power, your mobility, and your everyday carrying convenience. The perfect CPU isn't the one with the highest number on the box. It's the one that perfectly fits the thermal constraints, battery demands, and strict budget of the life you actually live.